Okay. Well, nothing is fucked here, dude. Nothing is fucked. Listen, past Corneva, you walk beyond the mountains east of Potter's Field. You know, we've got these two like volcanic peaks and stuff that David Jackson put here. I don't know if everybody's in the same spot.
Yeah, the double volcano.
Yeah, double volcano. What does it mean? Uh, we're gonna fill that in. I mean, there's not like a big adventure thing gonna happen here. I'm just tired of double volcano being the only thing there. I just want to name this mountain range. So if anybody's got a cool mountain range name,
The East Andes.
preferably one that isn't already copyrighted.
Hmm. I mean, it has to pertain to those two volcanoes. That's the only. That's the most important thing about these mountains. They're just there to mask the volcanoes.
Snap into the damn.
Let me look up mountain names.
Uh,
There's always one that comes out that's great.
Okay, so something. Okay, no, I've got. I have an idea. Asp or spider or viper, something to like represent the fact that the volcanoes. I mean, the mountains are like teeth, but the volcanoes spew fire instead of poison. But I don't know. Do you guys see where I'm going with that?
no, I know. Yeah, I was thinking
Symbolism?
like. Yeah, I was thinking like devil's teeth or something like that.
That works. Though that's kind of cliched, but yeah.
Thank you. I know that's why I didn't say it.
Okay.
Before. Yeah, you just. It's fine. It's
Hot
fine. I
take.
Sorry.
I
I'm
kind of
sorry.
murdered you, so like I think it's fine.
It's all good.
We're gonna go. Yeah, I like. Oh, I've got it. Come on, guys. What do you got? You got spiders? We need deadly spider. How about a black widow? Oh, we got teeth. Oh, I got it. What
Widow's
else do
teeth?
we got teeth here, but these are like mountains. They're like peak. These are the widow's peaks. Bam!
Oh.
I done laid it on you. Done laid it down on you.
That's good. That's good.
Works for me.
That's why I'm in the GM's chair. Stupid puns and memes. That's what I brought today.
It's good. You're streaming.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of going ham. There's maybe too big. Okay, we're gonna stop there. No, you know what? Mama's giving me encouragement. I'm gonna ride with it.
Go nuts.
Yeah, and then we got a little valley here to the south that you can get into the Death Frost Hills. Don't go there though.
Why not?
That's a trap. I maybe should make these snow mountains, but I didn't, and I'm not gonna. There we go. So we have the Widow's Peaks. I want to call them Drago's Mountains because he owned that joint. All right.
Sounds like you're gonna have to fight yourself though.
A true challenge. All right. So we pass beyond the Widow's Peaks and into the Deadwood. We avoid the Tree of the Slow God. I mean, I was totally going to have us be at the Tree of the Slow God. But then
Sparrow fucked it up.
things happened.
That's fine. Tree of Soul God can wait. It's just a cool tree that keeps ghosts away. You know, totally just that.
Mm-hmm.
And put this on token layer. Alright, we did it. We got there. So, the Widow's Peaks. And into Potter's Field. Now, as you draw near Potter's Field, death knell from the city. Great 7-foot tall, clad in strange armor and blades that they look similar to James Blackwater. These death knell. Skeletal warriors. They speak without tongues or flesh. A voice that emanates great distances. A column of these protectors meet you on your way and guide you into the city where there is fanfare. There are people gathered. 2 champions of the King of Death have come. Raylan, the Crusader, and James Blackwater, the Death Knight. 2 Death Knights. People are throwing... What do they throw? They throw stones at you because you're monsters. They shower the streets with flower petals. Is it flower petals? I mean, this is fucking Deadwood. There's not really flowers. It's some kind of like
nightshade.
It's like a spindly sort of reed. It's sort of like macabre in its beauty.
It's nightshade business.
As they shower the streets before you, welcoming all of your party, your sizable group here, right? There's like 50 of you at this point. Marching through the streets, people cheering, an honor guard of death knell guide you to the center of town. Now, as for Sparrow, you're not... I mean, this is Sparrow's, Sparrow has been in a tug of war with her own mortality for some time. You are Sparrow, but the only trick is you can act as Sparrow. We'll say what you... We're going to get to your last roll, your death roll at the end. I want that to be like an end cap thing. We'll say what you remember from what happened in the room. Is that... You know what? Exactly what you wanted to have happen in that room...
Right.
happened. You are allies with Raylan. The 2 of you have a scheme cooking. You have learned that he has access to great and terrible powers. They are powers that even rival the reach of the Black Annis, if that interests you. In some way for playing your character. So, yeah, feel free to just act accordingly. You still have all your same moves and everything.
Okay.
You're like Quentin now.
But the fanfare leads a great procession to the center of the town, where there are Lich Lords waiting.
Wow.
Stand up strong.
I'm gonna forget everything about this town.
Well, here's the deal, Quentin. These are... I don't know what you've heard about Potter's Field. But when you see the Lich Lords, they're sort of not what you were expecting, I think. They aren't like... Well, one of them is totally a skeleton monster guy in, like, heavy armor and a big sword. He doesn't look like... He's not really a skeleton. He has, like, really pale skin. But he's big. He's, like, Death Knell sized, but his armor and stuff does not look like theirs. And and he's got a great blade with him. He's sitting in a chair. He doesn't look excited to be here. This is parties, fanfare. This is not his thing. This is not fun for him. But the rest, they are having a good time. There is Isopses.
Good old Isopses.
Yeah, Isopses is somewhat strange. He dresses very well, but he has sort of apish. I mean, I say he has apish features. Well, so he's a human. Yes, he's like an ape man, right? He's okay. He's got an ape man thing going on. Lots of body hair, sort of gangly limbs. But he's dressed very well, and he is having a ball here at the grand convocation. There is the Lady Galatea, also well dressed, undying, and stately in her manner. And yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. Yeah, Eat Your Vox. That's the guy who's not happy to be here.
He's a dickhead.
Now, you have heard rumors of there being 4 Lich Lords, but you do not see a 4th. Everybody knows about the 4 Lich Lords of Potter's Field, but you do not see the 4th. Whether or not you know anything about those, or the issues there. Raylan does, but maybe the rest of you don't. Anyway, there's a speech given by Isopses about the coming of the heroes, the champions of the King of Death. That you are welcomed and honored guests. You know, you'll be staying at Isopses Manor. Living lavishly. And that night there is to be a ball, a grand cotillion, if you will. In order to feast and send you on your way with blessings and joy. And the people cheer. Yay! Clapping, clapping. Yeah.
Excitement.
So there is to be a grand celebration for the lot of you. But I wanna focus on James Blackwater for a moment. You're kind of the leader here.
Huh? Are you sure? Okay. I'll let it lie. Just.
Quentin's the leader. What are you talking about?
Quentin can come along too, sure, yeah. You guys are the co-leaders. James Blackwater is assistant to the regional leader. And yeah, there's like before the ball, there's sort of there'd be a meeting take place if you guys want to do something specific there. I mean, Isopses, Galatea, and Eat Your Vox are behind closed doors. They're very, very interested in what the hell you're actually doing here. They kept things vague for the crowd. That champions have returned, and this is an honor, and you are headed to the Deathlands. The rumors have preceded you about the direction of your quest. So they would gather James Blackwater for sure. I suppose Raylan could show up if he wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after I get dressed, I put on my tux that Drago bought me, and I paint on my face. I paint on my face and the grimace clown mask I have, that of the crow.
What does? Oh, you have a mask. I forgot.
I have makeup kit.
They had fucking mask parties. I forgot about that.
Oh, I also do have a skull mask, I guess, but I do both. I overachieve.
Yeah. What did... I think Drago just wore his helmet. Yeah, he's not a partier.
You just wore your armor because that was spooky enough.
So before the ball, they do have like a meeting. I don't know that Sparrow and Quentin are invited, but these are like, you guys can show up if you want, obviously. They wouldn't like stop you. It's just that the nobles of Pottersfield, the Lich Lords, they would overlook you two as more rabble, right? Sorry, Quentin, but it is the insulting truth. You can educate them.
They're missing out. It's not my problem.
Yeah, so who all is at this little meeting? They are all dressed, ready for the party. Eatrovox doesn't change. Eatrovox is like Drago, right? He's like, well, I'll just wear my fucking armor. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Do you all show up for this?
Oh yeah. I show up and I put on my crown, my huge golden crown that I took from the labyrinth. I put it on. I'm gonna show them.
All right.
Bitches.
What about Sparrow?
I knew I had a
I
crown.
mean, absolutely. When it comes to the party, she oh no, she's absolutely dressing out.
Okay. So
Parties are her forte. That's her natural environment.
There we go. So there are already guests gathering, and preparations are being made. Servants are running hither and anon, making food and drink ready and available, preparing the rooms, dusting this and that, getting the grand ballroom together. For there will be dancing. They have learned a few steps. A few new dances from the mighty Heracles.
That's right.
The traditions of Sessani dance.
You said it right.
Are bleeding into Pottersfield. But before they do gather you for discussion about what's going on, they welcome you, of course, and they're mostly talking to James Blackwater, I think. And they say, but enough pleasantries. This is Isopsy speaking. He says, I'd be very interested. What exactly has brought you to the land of the dead?
So, if they don't know, that's probably better. But I almost want to go. So these dudes are super all for, the Kings of Death, or the Lords, or whatever they are, the royalty of death.
I mean, Intervox broke the rules. I mean, he's a dickhead. But more or less.
But yes, yeah, they are servant to the King of Death.
I go in search of power.
He says, "Oh, power. What sort of power?"
The forbidden power that lies within the cave.
Jesus Christ.
Well, if he didn't say it, Raylan was gonna have to.
So there's like a hush. And you see Eatrovox, the warrior, sit up straight in his in his chair, his massive throne. I imagine he's got a big like iron throne that just is everywhere. Like they just carry.
It's one of those guys.
It's like in every room. It's a it's like a mandate of the city. There has to be an iron throne in case Eatrovox shows up, so that he can fucking throne sit in it. People's houses, just. But he sits up straight, grasping the hilt of his great sword. And Isopsis looks around nervously. He says, "This is forbidden."
You are correct.
He says, "You may not seek that knowledge."
And how did those before you attain such power?
He says, "James Blackwater, you may not know the history of Potter's Field. Once we were mortal, we three, but we sought to usurp the power of death. We have been cursed for centuries by he who is king now. He turns like his gaze at you, Raylan, and he says, "Raylan, do you know about this?"
Oh yeah, the King of Death is actually like a good friend of mine. He told me all about it.
But we have all heard the tales of the King of Nightmares.
Yeah, he sucks ass.
The two of you were there.
Yeah, I'm gonna murder him.
He sought the same power that you're going after. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I know, and you all fucked up, and we won.
Yeah, Eatrovox is definitely standing at this point. And and he says, "Enough of this. You must be detained."
That means jail? No, we're not gonna do that.
Quentin and Sparrow, I mean, what are the two of you doing?
I don't know. Caught me off guard.
I mean, Sparrow is Sparrow's the kind of person who regularly lets herself get arrested so she can seduce her captor and leave without an attack. I mean, but in this case, since it's clear that Raylan does not share that strategy, she goes very still. And I think like because she has a little fire lizard kind of hangs out with her, and I think Tiglia squawks at that. She kind of shushes Tiglia, and then goes very still. Her hands, she's not reaching for her blades, but they're really close to them, and she's just waiting for the sign that something can be stabbed.
Okay, so James, you're sort of leading this thing. I mean, Isopsis is looking around, like, worried that things are about to get violent.
Oh, wait. Maybe I know what I do.
Oh, okay.
I have a ring that whispers me dark secrets and counsels for strange
Of course you do.
situations. So
Like-
I wanna,
Like betraying the Lich Lords.
yeah, I wanna give it a rub. You know, Archie, if you're listening, please just, what do I do here?
Get away from these people. They're not good for you. You're in with the wrong crowd.
I mean, yeah, it's given me that kind of advice before. So.
Okay. You interfere every day. Water goes on a day. Haunted by the spirit, please. You put the ring on. Okay. You put on the ring. You take it off. Destroy. Blah blah blah. Yep. So you want to ask that? What exactly is the question you're asking the spirit of the ring?
I'm asking, like, how do we avoid bloodshed? I don't know if that's the right word, but
Sure. Okay. Roll plus bond with your ring.
Archie, you're the best.
What does Archie know? I mean, Archie's died and been to the Deathlands. So, one of the things you've heard of the Deathlands is that there is the King of Death, who is lord over all the lands of the dead, including here in the Deadwood, which is on the other side of the Gates of Death, right? It's here in the living world, with the Lich Lords. Now, in the Deathlands, there are Lords of Death. These are not like these Lich dudes. They are people like the King of Nightmares, and other folks that we've never actually met before.
Organ.
The alpha,
The magnetic wolf. Yeah.
the alpha wolf of the bright wolves. But the Lords of Death are not. They're not gods in their own right. Only the King of Death is truly the god, but the Lords of Death are not. They're not passive. One may become King of Death, right? It's not called the God of Death. It's called the King of Death, which means that there is an implication of succession, right? One may become king. That this King of Death, though he has been King of Death, or she has been King of Death, they have been King of Death since time immemorial. They were not always King of Death. If you want to avoid bloodshed, you must make the Lich Lords back down with a greater power than they. Imagine a hierarchy where there is the King of Death, and then there are the Lords of Death, and here at the bottom are the Lich Lords. you want to make them back down, somebody needs to reach out or take hold of or call on the power of a Lord of Death.
Okay, thanks, Archie.
I don't know, man. They're the Lich Lords. Like, they've been around for many hundreds of years. Like, that's how you... And this Eatrovox character is clearly ready to go full edgelord on you, so...
I got it.
Yeah.
If I don't got it, Raylan's got it. We both got it. Right? We both can do it. We have 2 chances of this working, so I think that's okay.
I mean, you could maybe do something. I could blow them up.
No, not killing. Not yet. That's after. That's after we fail our roles of.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have a way of talking with death.
You
I mean, I
don't?
can commune.
Serious?
I can commune with the death god, but that's bad.
What do you think, James? What are you thinking about?
Well, I still think, as much as you guys say it's wrong, I still think that I can get Jackie on my side because I think she thinks I'm a sweetheart.
You're gonna do blood for the blood god and blow up.
I think she's interested in seeing where this goes, if not only for herself.
So, are you...
I mean, one of her things is knowledge, I guess, but that's not. I mean, I'll kill a hireling if I have to.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Oh no.
So you're looking for divine guidance.
Yes. I need that boon right now.
At least none of us are good characters right now.
I'm so tired of this bullshit sacrifice.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I'm
Sparrow's
just
whatever
glad I
damn
didn't.
moral she wants to be.
You tried to seduce secrets out of a boy.
Sparrow is whatever damn alignment she wants to be at the moment.
Sure.
Well, and Raylan is anything but a boy at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Eldritch secret, though.
Okay, so let me look up King of Death. Yeah, actually, I'm going to tell you. I mean, Dax would not agree with this, right? Dax would force one to make a deal.
Right.
For something valuable, and you don't have a good trade for the secrets of death. I mean, maybe you could find one, but it'd have to be pretty hefty.
You already gave him your swax, so.
Yeah.
However, Jacqueline Dreyer, she is interested in the lost and the forgotten.
She's got to be. Never mind.
I did ask her once what I had to do to make her ally herself with me.
Yeah.
As more than just a servant. She said, "You have yet to sacrifice everything." So, fuck you.
Okay, James. It's not going to be exactly like great, but there is a way to bring forth the power that would make even Eatrovox not hunger for battle here. The question is, what are you going to sacrifice?
What she want? I don't know. Let me take a gander at my hireling list real quick.
Roll discern realities as you look around, thinking of what needs be sacrificed.
My shopping list. Come on. Yes.
Alright, you may ask 3 questions.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
Well, it's not the hirelings. You look at them and you know these are not fitting sacrifices. You look around at all the people in the room. One of the Lords of Death, Sparrow, Raylan, even. These are not fitting sacrifices. You look around at everything. You look down at your blade. This is not a fitting sacrifice. And then you kind of realize the only thing you can't look at in this room is yourself.
Kidding me?
Oh, man.
She wants me to sacrifice myself to show them that I am.
I mean, it's something.
Chose-
Yeah, it's something of yourself.
Okay, well. If you just want to slash your throat open, I have an idea.
James, you have overcome. So you've been wearing this armor that you can't remove. It's grown into your body. It's seeped into your, very being and changed you, right? You aren't alive anymore. And the only way that you know to sustain yourself is by feeding your hunger for raw flesh.
This is true.
And you know that this is the armor doing this. But you have staved it off, right? You have outgrown its power to destroy you. Yeah. The only way that you may escape this plight, or escape the fight that's coming, Jacqueline can give you aid, but you have to stop fighting against the armor. It takes its final hold of you.
God damn it! I know what that is too. It sucks dick.
Yeah. The deal being made is Jacqueline Dreyer. I don't even know if you knew her name before. She didn't choose to become a King of Death. She died tragically, actually. She wants to be free of a prison she's in.
How many people are in the room?
I think it's just the 4 of you. I guess a couple of hirelings, like your lieutenant, maybe. Like
I could take
I don't think they die, dude.
Yeah, sure. You can have my last breath roll. Why not?
Okay, so you give up your struggle against the Blightwood armor.
Everything. Stupid wood armor.
So what's it gonna do to you?
I don't know. That's the last time I heard it was the last breath thing.
So
It hurts.
It does hurt. It hurts a lot. You all hear bones breaking and flesh ripping, and James doubles over. There's no blood coming out of him because he doesn't have blood anymore. But the armor is just grabbing into his body, ripping away flesh and growing into it. As it becomes a skin. More like a skin, like an armored skin. And through... You hear some shouting from outside, as you hear like a crashing noise. And people are screaming now. There's definitely a great amount of terror going on. And then through the doorway in this room, this room is... So there's like a dais where the Lords of Death are standing. I mean, the Lich Lords are standing. And their eyes dart up toward a big double door that leads into this room. And this is sort of like a meeting hall, but it's empty except for you all. There are columns, and it's marbled, sort of gray marble stone. There are a few torches just around the Lords of Death, so it's kind of dim in here. It's pretty dark. Hard to see all the way even to the door. Which is made of sort of silver. Like, it's a very opulent place. But the door bursts open and flames spill through it. As a horse comes running in. A horse that is on fire. Flames leaping up from its back as it comes marching into the room. It's not charging anyone, it just barrels past. Eatrovox has got his blade readied. Was already coming down the steps to attack you as James doubled over, looking for his opportunity. As this burning horse runs up and stands in front of James, blocking Eatrovox. You all can smell the burning flesh of this horse. This is not a creature from another plane or an elemental spirit that takes the shape of a horse. This is a horse that is on fire. Its flesh is burning and melting. You can smell the cooking of it, right? There is like blood pouring off of it. And it doesn't seem to be suffering or feeling any pain. It just stands there and blocks Eatrovox, who thinks for a moment to keep going. But then takes a step back, seeing a sign of the King of Nightmares. The thing is sort of snuffing, right, like a horse, and swishing its tail, and shaking its mane back and forth as like flames and like melting flesh sort of splash around. There's just a gore pile gathering around this horse as Eatrovox takes steps back and gets back up on the dais and rests his sword point down. What do you all do in the next moment? Like, everybody's sort of stunned. And this is sort of a nightmarish vision, right? This horse just burning before your very eyes.
Yeah. So when I saw the burning horse, I think I took my machete off my back, but then it just sort of trotted in. Uh, cool. So are we doing the party? Is that still no?
Galatea moves to the front, to the edge of the dais, and looks at all of you, and she says, "Go. You are cursed, and I pity you all."
Put the machete away, and I'll pick up the. I'll start to like kind of. He's much bigger than me. Just sort of drag him. James. Just. Well, he won't pity us when we win. Just stand up tall again. And I'm gonna kill that guy. So, you know, you seem. I point at Itrok. You seem scared of him, so you're welcome.
Come on, Raylan. Let's go.
And yeah, and Raylan, you're like giving your last words to them as the horse like spins and looks at you, and the flesh almost completely burned away from its skull now, and it like rears up and lets out this horrible whinny and collapses on the ground. A sort of salute from the King of Death, right?
Yeah. See, he's preparing.
And Isopses, he says, if you even manage to face down the King of Death, if you have managed to face down the King of Nightmares, he will be as a child compared to the King of Death.
Well, I'm not gonna fight the King of Death. He's my friend.
He says, I don't. Yeah, they don't have anything to say to that. Like, this is like, I don't know what this is. This is like picking up for them. This is like you picking up like a garden spade and being like, I will dig up Mount Everest, right? Like, they don't even know how to fathom what you're saying you're gonna go do. And they just back away from you and let you all leave. You're dragging James Blackwater.
Does it feel any different? Like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
does it
yeah.
do to me? What do I get?
What do you get?
That's not a good question. I should have asked.
Here's what you get, James. This was the last sacrifice you could make to Jacqueline Fryer. There is no other sacrifice other than the discovery you are making. Lost and forgotten is the very thing you're going after. Right? It's the lost and forgotten knowledge of who the King of Death is. All of that. What you get... Well, you can kind of... Whenever you commune, what is that like? What's the sense you get? Is there like a feeling? Is there a voice or something?
So what usually happens is like time will stop, right?
Yeah.
Jacqueline appears and she says something to me, and she doesn't appear to like anyone else because time stops or whatever, or it's just moving really fucking slow. I don't know. It's one of those. And she says a few things to me, and usually she makes it. I don't know. She's done a bunch of things. She's done the whole trail thing. She's given me like what'd she do during that Deathland or that one session in the town? I can't remember. It was like she gave my eyes a thing that only I could see to in any sense of direction or whatever, and she mainly talks to me.
Yeah. You can see her. Kind of all the time. Like, as Raylan picks you up and walks you out of this place, the crowd outside is just, like, pressed to the walls and looking at all of you in terror. And you can see her, like, in the crowd, walking among them, staring at you. You can see... and nobody else seems to see her or notice her, right? People just pass right by her, even right through her. And she appears where she couldn't be, right? Like, she's in the crowd, and then when you're outside, there are more people, and she's in the crowd there. She's everywhere now. Even later on, after you guys leave Potter's Field, you're marching through the forest and through the gray wastes, and you see her passing over a dune. One of the sand dunes of the gray waste. You see her pass behind a tree. Maybe at first you chase, right? You go to look for her. And people follow you, and you're like, she's this way, or whatever, and then you find nothing. No sign ever. They think you're seeing ghosts, or that you've gone completely mad now. Your crew would probably turn away at this point, but they can't. They're in too deep, right? They said they were willing to follow you to the very end, and that seems to be where we're all headed. Yeah, when you sleep, you see visions of... You dream about her living life. As a child in Kernby. You see her running through the forest. You see her meeting a witch, right? And learning secrets from that witch. You see her, as a young child, manipulating people, right? Not really knowing what she's doing, but getting her way. Right? With the power of... With a sort of innate power that she has with her mind. You see her growing up and getting lost in the woods. Right? You were there for that. You see her watching you as you come into the town. From afar. You see her die in the end and pass into the Deathlands. And you always wake up at that point. Because something takes hold of her, right? Something brings her into the fold where she becomes the King of Death, or one of the Kings of Death, or whatever the strange scenario is there, right? But you can't see past that point. There's like a block. You always wake up in like a cold sweat. I guess not a cold sweat because you're a fucking dead man. But you feel like, you know, the armor is like pinching and grabbing and breaking a bone and reforming it at that point.
God, Jesus.
And the pain is horrible and it's constant.
Like, it doesn't go away?
Yeah, it's kind of constant.
Oh my God.
Like, it's not always 24 hours a day, but like 3 or 4 times a day, yeah. Like, a rib gets snapped and you buckle over as it's then reformed into something else as the armor takes hold of it. So, James, what you get is, besides not having to fight the Lords of Death, or the Lich Lords, you're gonna have to fight a Lord of Death. I don't want to lie to you. I think you're sick.
No, not again.
Yeah. And I mean, you're dead, so it's like, well, how can I be sick? Well, maybe if your armor was constantly breaking your bones and stuff, and like... This is how James Blackwater gets sick. This is how most people just die. Or this is how most people just get crushed and turned into pulp, and extruded for their juices. But this is how James Blackwater just is sick. He's like, I feel a bit ill.
I had the sick ability like most of the time I played games.
Yeah, well, look at you, man. So that's how the journey goes. Again, in the Grey Waste, there are usually antlions or things from beneath the sand that come after you. Nothing comes after you. It's almost as if the place is empty. I mean, it is empty, except for antlions and strange death monsters, but it's eerily so. The both of you have been here before. You've wandered the Grey Waste. You have seen the horrible beasts and the nightmare creatures that stalk it. And it's quiet. Utterly quiet. Except for James at night, when he howls with pain.
I do have a question. I'm pretty sure the answer is still no. But you said it's like he's seeing ghosts, but it's not actually, right? Because I might be able to, because I might have a thing or two about seeing ghosts.
What's the move you're thinking of exactly?
Let's see. Well, one of them straight up says I can see ghosts, but let's see. Ghost Talker. You can see and interact with all ghosts and spirits of the dead and peer into the spiritual workings of the undead. And then I can discern realities about zombie brains.
Yeah. Raylan, you can see her too, then.
Cool.
And maybe it's because Jacqueline Dreyer is, a spirit at this point, but it's also because of your connection with the King of Death. And... yeah, you see whom he calls the King of Death. And it ain't Dax Corvine.
Right. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
Your King of Death is prettier than mine.
Yeah, she's very cute.
All right.
Wait, I try. I don't go talk. I wave at her though from time to time. But yeah.
All right, we're gonna take another break. So, all right, cool. So we know we've got chaos monsters, of which Sparrow is one. We've got, we know we've got King of Nightmares going on. There's this new thing with Jacqueline Dreyer. That was another thing I didn't see coming.
We can hang out.
Only one thing left. Quentin?
And you won't remember any of it.
No. What's up?
We're gonna find out what the spirits think about all of this. I didn't know your ring summoned a dead dude.
I mean, yeah, the ring is a dead dude, basically.
Is a dead dude, yeah. All right, let's take 5 minutes. Whereas we come to the Black Necropolis, and it will be extremely awkward there.
We are bringing a lot of people here.
Yeah. All right, 5 minutes.
Cool.